Welcome back to LDB Games. I'm Lord Darthbawlz, and I've got a Raid Shadow Legends video for you. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I just finished a pretty big life transition. I moved halfway across the country, sold my property in New York, lived for about 5 weeks in a hotel room with some pretty garbage Wi-Fi until I finally closed on a property in Chicago, which is pretty exciting. So I've just got my recording studio set up. Let me know some feedback if the sound is off or the lighting is off, anything I can do to improve them. This is going to be my setup going forward, so I'm probably going to be investing in this a little bit more, and I'd love your feedback. And if you do happen to like this video, I invite you to click the like button. Since I haven't released in a little while, I'm looking for the YouTube algorithm to put me out there. Let people see my videos. But in this video, I am going to be pulling for the Summon Rush. It has an epic in it, which is pretty high up, 5,400 points. I think this is becoming the new norm, right? 2,100 for the rare, which is pretty good. And I kind of want this Eternal Soul Stone because I've been saving. They did a chase, but they didn't do a rush on the Soul Stones. So I have quite a few that I've been racking up. I don't spend money on these. I just let them accrue. I actually haven't spent money on anything in quite a while. The only thing that I spent on was the renewal of the raid card because I think it's a really good investment. And I'm still working through my my gem pack that I bought. The progression pack, is it up here? Yeah, the daily gem pack. But I the last like 5 weeks I've been like playing semi-casual, logging in. Some days I haven't even done my daily quests. I mean, you can see here, where is it, monthly? Yeah, I'm off, right? 3 days left on the monthly, but 5 days left on the weekly. So I missed some quests here and there. I've been trying to stay up to date as much as possible. There haven't been too many crazy events. I think there was a fusion that I burned a lot of gems for. But what I'm noticing is the less active you are, the less energy accrual you have. So I just finished the Dragon tournament, and I am down to the felt in terms of energy. I've got a few pots that I've been saving up, but we'll see how it goes. There is a this whole Primal Shard thing came out, and I'm not pulling mine yet. I'm gonna save for as long as I can. I know they like changed the mercy system around, but what I don't understand is this event that's going on right now. They doubled up the chances of, there's a way to scroll, isn't there? Yeah, they doubled up the chances of like, I don't understand this event. It's a 2 times chance of epic and legendary from Primal Shards only. Right? So epic is 32, legendary is 2%. It's still not as good of odds as a sacred, for one, and it's, marginally better than ancient times 2s. But they also didn't increase the mythical chance. You'd think with it 2 times on a primal, they double everything, because that's what they did. But I don't know. I also don't understand the points for Primal Shards. Primal Shards are, seem to be some of the more expensive shards compared. I mean, obviously not more than sacreds, but they're only 200 points. And they seem like they're really hard to come by. Like, harder to come by than sacred shards, right? I've accrued since the last time I pulled, I think was before the Primal Shard launch, which they gave you 2, and I think I won 1 from an event. I've accrued 13 sacred shards. I've basically only accrued 1 primal if you don't count the 2 I got for free. So they're more rare in this game. I don't know why the points aren't closer to a sacred shard. But, that's not my decision. I will say, I hope if you didn't have a Man-Eater, you went for that guaranteed Man-Eater that popped up for only 40 Void Shards. That's pretty incredible. So I've got a couple Man-Eater teams. I've got 1 video that I have released on the Man-Eater team that I use, and if you guys are interested, maybe I'll put out a full Man-Eater guide and do a couple different teams with him. Let me know down in the comments below what you think. But I am going to pull all of my sacreds today. And because there is a 10 times for Acrisia, I am going to finish the Summon Rush with my Voids. It's probably not the best use of my Voids, but I really want an Acrisia. I really would love an Acrisia. And honestly, I would love a Heffrack. I have 2 Trundas right now, and I really only use one of them sometimes. But Heffrack teams can be pretty insane in the arena. So I would love a Heffrack. So let's get into it. I'm pulling all 13, and we'll see how many voids it takes for for me to get into the top of the summon rush. All right, starting off with an epic. This is a new guy, Kellen the Shrike. A1 weaken, 50% chance. 2-hitter, first hit has a 100% chance of decreasing the target's meter by 50%. Second hit lands a decreased speed. That's actually a pretty cool attack. Really good for bosses. And AoE damage increases by 5% for each debuff on the target. Not bad. I wonder how hard he hits. I have been looking for another damage dealer for Sylvan Watcher's Faction Wars. I feel like I don't have any damage in my team, and so Faction Wars takes a long time. Another epic. Rear Guard Sergeant. She's really good. She's got an AoE decrease attack. I think it's an ally protection, right? The AoE decrease attack is almost 100%, right? And it's on a 3-turn cooldown. So she is and lives in my Faction Wars team, 100%. Here we go. Let's get some gold in this video. What do you say? A Tur. He's terrible for you, but he's great in the Doom Tower enemy waves. I don't know what that is. Alark the Hooded, really nothing special. I think he was an epic in a fusion in the past. Pull this guy again, Crowd in the Blue. I guess the game is telling me I should build him. I'm pulling him again. I haven't really been doing any of the hard dungeons at all. Alessia, especially since I've been playing sort of semi-casual the last like 5 or 6 weeks. Maybe I'll get into some of the hard dungeons. Ugo, awesome champion for Hydra. AoE, decreased defense, block buffs. She's got a full team cleanse. Then she's got this funky revive. The revive is really not something you can rely on, at least in my experience. And this is really, I think, intended on an arena move. Yeah, I don't know. This one every now and then pops up in the arena, but I've never been able to get this to activate in PvE content. Not really sure. Not really sure. Oh, here it is! Bystafis! I don't have him. He's a new legendary. That's legit. Welcome back, content creator. Look, huh? Not even really a content creator. I just make content. A1 attacks one enemy, 50% chance of placing a block active skills for 1 turn. 35, so that books to 65. 35 books to 50 of placing a true fear for 1 turn on targets under block active skills. I wonder if that has to be on them before he attacks, or if this can actually activate the true fear. AoE inflicts a critical hit against targets under block active skills. Heals by 20% of the damage. Well, that's interesting. Attacks all enemies. Has a 75 when books to 100% chance of placing block active skills for 2 turns. Also has a 75% chance of placing, which books to 100, of a decreased defense. That's really interesting. Inflicts a crit against targets under... It's a guaranteed crit on his A2. Which means, in theory, you can build him with only crit damage, depending on how hard this hits. Now, you'd probably want to bring someone in to enable him. I don't know if him enabling himself is really the most efficient. You bring an AoE, block active skills to enable this, and he auto crits, and you can just skyrocket his crit damage. That's really interesting. If anybody has and uses Bystafis, let me know down in the comments below. Is this as potentially awesome as I think it is? I'm not sure. Maybe I'll end up playing around with him. I got a few champions on the list of to build and to play with that I've got. Can we get 2 legendaries? I think that would be really cool. Vala. She was in the very first battle pass. And actually, for an early game account, Vala is really strong. She has a decreased defense. Farkin the Fat, one of the best ally attack champions in the game. He buffs and then ally attacks. Plus, he has a little, like, small ally protection in here, but for himself, like the reverse ally protection, which is pretty legit. And he can do some serious damage. Poisons, HP burns, decreased defense. You build him with enough accuracy, and you build him with some nice damage, and he comes in strong, especially in clan boss teams. I think he's even in my Ice Golem team right now, which is pretty cool. Melga, strong dwarf reviver. I use her in faction wars. I used her in some Doom Tower stuff, but I have other revivers that I can use, so she sort of just lives in faction wars at this point. Come on, 2 more. Nope. Epic. Sinesha. You know, I still haven't really built my Blender comp since I pulled her. I got to get around to doing that and putting a video out on it. Because Skull Crown is incredible, and her with Sinesha makes quite a pair for Arena if you've got a speed team. Deathless. Deathless. Nothing special there. So awesome. I got a non-dupe legendary. That's pretty exciting. Let's see how far I got in here. Little Mortal Soul Stone there. Love the energy I'm getting. All right, there's the rare. Nice 6-star speed cliff. I didn't realize that was there. That's a nice one right there. 200 coins, XP barrels, couple Lego books. Got the epic. Ooh, that's 10. Usually it's 5. That's actually substantial. Where am I at? 6,500. So I need 1,000 points. 1,000 points. Voids are 120. So I can do what? 8? Yeah, let's do 8. And I'm gonna do single pops. I don't want to do a 10 pop. Let's drag these voids out, because I would love an Acrizia right there. Hey, wait a minute. That's one of the rares in the fusion. So not only can I now skip like 3 events. I'm definitely skipping the champion chase. I'll pull the fusion guide up in a little bit. I'll talk through my strategy for this fusion after we pull through the shards, because that's actually huge. Pulling some of the rares or the epics in this game. Renegade, Budget Chimer. I've been living with my Renegade in my speed teams because I haven't had a Chimer yet. Pulling rares or epics that are in fusions makes traditional fusions like this so much easier. Fellhound, really strong campaign farmer. I can get him down to 5 seconds with animations and FPS or whatever it is. Not FPS. Refresh rate, or I don't know. Frames per, yeah, it is FPS. Frames per second. Renegade again. Wow, they really don't have enough rare voids in this game. Here we go. Let's get something. That's 5. Let's do 3 more, and I think that should get me up to 8. Yeah, that should be 1,000 points to max out my summon rush. Come on. 3 more. Here we go. Acrizia. I haven't pulled a void legendary. Oh, I did pull one recently. What's his name? Valkanen. I still gotta build him. He's got such a unique kit, and I want to see what I can do if I can kind of get him working a little bit. Shout out to one of the viewers who commented about him, who thinks he's awesome, and I agree. I think he's got some serious potential. One more. Come on. Give me at least an epic, huh? We got nothing but rares. I guess that's what you get for void shards. And like Frank, oh wow, that's might as well be a legendary right there. Cold Heart. I have 4 built. 3 or 4 built that I use on a regular basis. That's another reason why, like, I'm not so hype on these Primal Shards. There we go. Beautiful. Not sure when I'm going to use that, but might as well start building them up now, right? I'm really iffy on these Primal Shards, because they really are, like, if you take a Void Shard, you double up the chances of an epic and a legendary. And instead, well, no, it's really an ancient doubled up epic legendary with a chance of a mythical. And I mean, like, ancients are rough, man. Pulling ancients, it's not really, it's, I don't know. What do they do with the mercy system? They made it a mythical. After 200 without a mythical, you get 10% per. Now, what I do like is, I mean, do I like it? I don't know. After 75 without a legendary, you start increasing your chances of a legendary, which is kind of cool. So what I hope, and I don't know if I would put it past Clarion, is that after you pop a legendary, does it reset your mercy for mythical? You know, comment down below. I'm really, really curious. All right, so I've got some champion training going on in the background so that I can start working on the champion training tournament because I really want that legendary book that's at the top. And actually, I think there's a Primal Shard up there, if I remember correctly. And even though I'm not a big fan of Primal Shards, I'm still going to start accruing them. I'm going to save them for as long as I can, as long as I can hold out. So we just did the summon rush, right? I've got the epic and I've got one of the rare, and then I pulled a rare too. So getting the epic means I can drop one of every rare, right? So I can drop Dungeon Divers 2. I can drop Champion Chase. I can drop Dungeon Divers 1 and Dungeon Divers 3 because Dungeon Divers are some of the most difficult events these days. I completed my dragon, and I'm like, I think I'm not even halfway to the rare in the Dungeon Divers event, which is like kind of frustrating. But it is what it is. But now that means I can skip really 5 events. I can skip one from each if I wanted to, right? I may try to get 2 of these guys just because, or I may keep her. She seems like a pretty legit rare, if I remember correctly. Here, let's actually take a look at these champions. Let me stop this. We'll get rid of this. We'll go here, right? The mythical thing. It's the new thing in this game. Everything is mythical now. Not a fragment. Okay. Can I see her? No, I gotta go somewhere else. Oh, new here. Let's I gotta say these filters are legit, right? Oops, wrong one. It makes it so much easier to find who you're looking for in these filters. So let's see. We just pulled her. Selenia Night Cloak. She's got an A1 with a heal. And it's an heals this champion by 10, 20 if targets under an HP burn. AoEs increase a 65% chance of increase the duration of any HP burns. And a 3-hitter at random, placing an increased accuracy on herself, and each hit has a 50% chance of placing an HP burn. So she's got some, as a rare, she's got some incredible ability to place and extend HP burns, which is pretty cool. Now, hold on, we got the epic, one of the epics too. He is a 4-star at this venture. Here he is. Malkith Bloodflock. Attacks one enemy, 50% chance of stealing a random buff, okay? AoE, 100% chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs and increasing the duration of all ally buffs. This is pretty legit. I think I want a duplicate of him. Because that's actually a pretty legit ability. And he's got a 2 revive, 30 and 30 with a shield. Only on revived allies. That's weird. You don't really see that very often. And it's this champion's max HP. So you build him with HP, and he's putting out some big shields, but only on the revived. I mean, it's still a good ability, but it's really not a full team ability. And then who else do we got here? We've got PANDA Bowhorn. Freeze, ignore resistance if there's speed. Okay. AoE before attacking places increased attack and increased speed. And one enemy 3 times. Each hit ignores 10%. I mean, this guy could be good for Fire Knight's Heart. Because he's got, what is that, a 2-hitter, single hitter, 3-hitter, right? He'll put Weaken on if it's a boss. He ignores defense, so he has damage, and he's got the freeze on an A1. It's a 50-50 on a double hitter, which means, you have like north of 66%, or it's like 70-something percent of getting a freeze out, which is kind of nice. So maybe I do want a duplicate of both of the epics, which I think could be pretty doable. And I think a duplicate of that one rare is pretty legit too. Let's check these other guys out. Each hit heals this champion, okay. Places a weak sauce, increased defense. Revives an ally, places a 15% continuous heal. Whenever a heal is placed Buy an ally from the Skinwalker's faction expires, removed or stolen. Place. That's cool. So, and really interesting reviver for Skinwalkers. Oh, I have him already. I gotta go somewhere else to find that one. Attacks one enemy, 30% chance placing a leech. AoE, increased defense on all allies, weak sauce. And a, 10, 20, 65% chance placing a provoke. Okay, not bad for a rare. Block damage on this champion for 1 turn if the incoming damage exceeds 20% of his max HP. That's kind of legit, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown, and he counterattacks when hit by an enemy, which means he'll throw a leech out. So for a rare, he's actually pretty good. He actually, if you're struggling in faction wars and you don't have many champions for Knight's Revenant, he could come in and help you quite a bit there. Let's go back for, who's that other one that we haven't seen yet? The other one I pulled. This one. Petrifia Rockroot. These feel like the Microsoft name generators. You ever log into, or like in the Apple the Game Center, right? The random name generators. I feel like it's just 2 words smushed together. 1 enemy 2 times each hit has a 20% chance of placing a decreased defense. Target is under poison sensitivity placed by this champion. Poison sensitivity. Attacks all enemies. Weak sauce, decreased attack. Second hit has a 50% chance of placing a poison. And 3 times at random, each hit has a 25% chance. 25 books to 40 of a poison sensitivity. If all hits land on the same target, also places poison. I don't know. She's a bit weak. She's like a crappy Frozen Banshee. I think Frozen Banshee is way better than Petrifia. But I guess if you're hurting, right? So wait, hold on. Let's go back to this, right? So the only rare that I think that I want a duplicate of is Selenia, which is cool because I just pulled her. Yeah, so I'm definitely skipping the champion chase. I may skip a couple other events too because the Dungeon Divers such an energy sink. But yeah, let me know your plan down in the comments below. If you're even going for the Panda, I think he's a really funny champion. He basically just sleeps himself on every turn. I just watched one of Nubraid's videos on him, and he's got some really cool mechanics in terms of throwing debuffs back, pulling debuffs off your champions, and some cool stuff like that. Well, that's it, folks. Thank you for watching. If you've made it this far, I appreciate the view. And again, I am going to be doing regularly scheduled uploads moving forward again because I officially have a home, which is awesome. So I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button or subscribe to my channel. Tell YouTube that I'm back and start putting my videos out in front of other people so they can enjoy my content too. I'm Lord Darthbawlz. I'll catch you on the next video. Enjoy your raid.